The headlines tonight: Anambra State Government inaugurates Technical Working Group for Adolescent Health. ABS Managing Director Obidiego reassures on the number of quality service delivery. Federal government seals 39 industries in 7 states over pollution. The foreign scene tonight: Russia to increase military strength by 137,000 personnel. But before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening to you and welcome to the news. I am Ebere Ugonna. Anambra State Government has inaugurated a State Technical Working Group for Adolescent Health and Development. Correspondent David Okwasele reports that the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Afam Obidike, performed the inauguration on the Jerome Udoji State Secretariat Oka, which was witnessed by Permanent Secretary of the State Ministry of Health, Mrs. Karo Njaka, and members of civil society organizations. His report.
The Technical Working Group, resident in the State Ministry of Health, is an inter-ministerial body that identifies and implements programs aimed at addressing challenges facing adolescent health and development in the state. Members of the group are drawn from the academic community, the media, line ministries and agencies, civil society organizations, youth-led and advocacy groups. Inaugurating the Technical Working Group, Commissioner Obidike emphasized that Governor Chukwuma Soludo prioritizes issues that affect young people, such as the increasing rate of substance abuse in the state and other sexual health issues affecting them. Dr. Obidike announced that the state government has intensified plans to build a modern rehabilitation center for people with substance abuse disorder in the state.
Because if you're able to get this right, that will be one of the game changers we have in getting our people, because it will be good us increasing our youth, because you probably will fail to state it. We are having increasing number of people that are abusing substances in the state, whether we like it or not. That is why as government we are working so hard and trying to, last night till midnight, having a discussion on people that we could have a befitting rehabilitating center. Yeah.
Explaining the importance of the Technical Working Group, the team leader of the Adolescent and School Health Branch, Department of Family Health, Federal Ministry of Health, Mrs. Joyce Khan, who facilitated the training of members of the group in the state, identified the challenges facing adolescents to include substance abuse, unsafe abortion, rape, cultism and poor access to life planning information for adolescents and youths, stating that there is need to put some of these issues on the front burner of policy making at all levels of government.
The concept of TWG, it is a partnership of stakeholders established for the purpose of driving the agenda of improving the health and development of adolescents and young people. So all stakeholders, youth and sport, women affairs, all stakeholders that has one thing or the other to do with adolescents and young people, they are members of the TWG, because we understand the fact that adolescent health and development is a cross-cutting issue.
Contributing, the Anambra State Coordinator, World Health Organization, Dr. Abdul Nasir Adamu, pledged continuous technical and financial support of the organization in the areas of adolescent health and development. From the Jerome Udoji State Secretariat in Oka, I am David Okwasele reporting for ABS News.
The Transition Committee Chairman of Dunukofia Local Government Area, Mr. Augustine Onyemobi, has inaugurated Dunukofia Road Decongestion Team to ensure free flow of traffic in the local government area. Correspondent Chukwemeka Modelim reports.
Inaugurating the team at Dunukofia Local Government Headquarters at Upo, Mr. Onyemobi charged them to swing into action by ridding all the roads within the local government area of all obstructions, as well as ensuring free flow of human and vehicular movements. The local government chairman further explained that the exercise is part of the directives given to them by the Anambra State government and commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo for the restoration of peace, law and order in the state.
The traffic congestion has caused a whole lot. In fact, our governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, has zero tolerance for hold up, the one we call go slow. But in that particular axis of our local government council, Afigbe, Oyago, they have taken much. We can even call that particular area, we can call the type of traffic congestion we are having there blocked, because it's a very serious one. So part of the agenda we came with to bring down the solution to every of our problems. And our governor is very serious and particular about it. So that the common man, the world, the communities will experience the solution agenda.
After the inauguration, the team led by Mr. Chuks Agubeze and councillor representing Umudioka Ward 2 moved to Afigwe Market, axis of the old Oka and Onisha Road to decongest the area. The team removed all rickety vehicles, goods and wares displayed on the road, which made movements on the road difficult, especially during Afomaki days and festive periods. Speaking to the ABS, Mr. Agubeze explained that it was designed to alleviate the sufferings of the people of Dunukofia and motorists who ply the route, adding that it will be extended to Oyago Junction, that is usually characterized with the menace of traffic congestion.
We always put the interest of our people first. Anybody that applying this road, when you get to Oyago and Market, you see the kind of hold up, traffic jam, and this makes our people suffering too much, especially on the market days. You can even right here that we are standing, you can stay here more than 2-3 hours. So this thing has been making the life of our people uncomfortable. You can see that now 3 of traffic. Yeah. So people are no longer complaining. We flag off this congestion yesterday. Since that yesterday up to this moment, all we are receiving is congratulatory messages for the good work that we are doing.
On his part, another member of the team, Mr. Chimezie Ajebu, and a member of Dunukofia Local Government Transition Committee lauded the initiative, assuring that they will work every day to stop traffic congestion in Dunukofia local government area and ensure continuous free flow of human and vehicular movements in the area.
The idea was to make sure that vehicular movements have easy access, especially on our market days. So that is what brought about the initiative, to make sure that Afigwe is decongested.
From Afigwe Market at Omonachi, Chukwuemeka Modelim, ABS News.
As part of efforts towards attracting support for the transformation of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, into a world-class media organization, the managing director of the establishment, Chido Obidiegu, has continued his visit to well-meaning in the Anambra with the traditional ruler of Ogidi community in Idemili North local government area, Igwe Alex Onyudo, in his office. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo reports.
Sachido, who pointed out that the plan of Governor Chukwuma Soludo is to transform ABS into a media organization that can measure with its counterparts across the globe. The managing director of the ABS, who rated Igwe Onyudo among the first-class traditional rulers in Anambra State, solicited his support, noting that his partnership with the ABS will facilitate achievement of Professor Soludo's mandate to the station.
As soon as I assumed office, I had a meeting with my management team, and we did a short list of the key actors in the Anambra project. And incidentally, in the short list, your name came up. So all this while, we've been trying to schedule a meeting, and your name came up essentially because in the first place, you are a first-class traditional ruler in Anambra State. You are also a corporate titan and a manufacturer of repute and record, and also a boardroom enigma. So we felt that the partnership we have with you will go a long way in moving ABS forward. That collaboration we have with you will go to a very large extent in helping us achieve the mandate from Mr. Governor, who said we must strive as much as possible to run a media organization that must be responsibly run, professionally run, and at the same time profitably run.
Responding, Igwan Udo, who is the chairman of Albem Healthcare Industries Limited, while congratulating Sir Chido on his appointment as the managing director of the ABS, lauded Governor Soludo for giving him the opportunity to serve the state in that capacity, describing Sir Chido as the best man for the job, owing to his pedigree in the world of media and communication.
I appreciate our Governor, Sir Soludo, and his team for appointing you to being our new ABS MD. Because stated earlier on, there's need to uplift it to be profitable. I think so far, they are not well utilized in the area of advertisement and broadcasting. I don't think we have enough clients in that area. So that's the area that we should look into. The area of advertisement and the announcement.
In a vote of thanks, ABS staff who accompanied Sachido on the visit, Mr. Emeko Keke acknowledged various achievements of Igwan Udo in his community, Ogidi, and appealed to him to assist ABS for improved service to the public. From Ogidi, in Idemili North Council area, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
History was made over the weekend as the National Union of Anambra State Student Auust chose new executive members that will man the leadership of the union in the next 1 year. Correspondent Queen Anibogo reports.
After the Auust 2022 election, which took place at the Professor Kennedy Dike E-Library, Oka, Comrade Lawrence Nnanna of Nnamdi Azikiwe University emerged as the national president of the union. Comrade Ifunanya Benjamin was elected as vice president, while Comrade Chidimma Eruchalu emerged as the secretary general and financial secretary as Comrade Chioma Ugongwa. Others are Comrade Felix Obiora, director of sports, auditor general Comrade Ernest Melikam, public relations officer Comrade Christopher Ebonine, Senate President Comrade Osta Ekedi, Deputy Senate President Comrade Chioma Harrison, among others. Auust is an umbrella body that unites Anambra indigenous students from 190 registered institutions across Nigeria, aimed at bringing them together for mutual benefits in their academic, social, and economic endeavors. The election received 570 voters and total number of 333 accredited votes. In an interview, the Electoral Committee Chairman, Comrade Michael Izwanne, revealed that 2 presidential aspirants stepped down. 2 aspirants were disqualified, and with the 21 aspirants that won the election, made it a total of 25 aspirants in the election for the 2022/2023 Auust general election. He thanked the students for the confidence reposed in the Electoral Committee and congratulated the new executive members, expressing the hope that they would take Auust to the next level.
Today alone is, trying to control your peers is actually the difficult task and the difficult thing, but I believe with a reasonable number of them, we are able to comply as later on. This government is very, very important. Like, we are in need of the state government. If proper considerations or commissions from the government will come to the union to take the students back and bring back the value.
In his remarks, the immediate past national president of the union, Comrade Okuchukwu Okonkwo, asked the incoming leadership to work with Anambra State government in order to achieve their goals, as well as put into consideration the issues of students' scholarships, bursary, and building of the union secretariat.
It's simple, coming together for our welfare, to reach out to ourselves and also to possibly get our needs. Yeah, but no common. It happens everywhere. Different states has their own. So our own is still going to be different. Okay, so usually our challenges was finance. Another thing that also affected us was insecurity. These are our exceptions because most of us programs we wanted to conduct, to reach out to, there was a lot of threats. We can't reach out to transporting the students from different states coming down to Anambra for a particular conference or program. It affected us badly. So we're limited to a lot of things. Unlike now. So we pray that it's going to continue to be better.
Responding, the national president-elect, Comrade Lawrence Nnanna, expressed happiness for the opportunity to serve the students of Anambra State origin. He assured that with God on his side, he will work harder to take the union to a greater height. The observers, Comrade Kinsley Uzochukwu and Chukwuebuka Ezenna, thanked God that in spite of some issues, the election ended in success, and appealed to Governor Chukwu Masoludo to work with the student body to ensure that the welfare and needs of Anambra State students scattered everywhere are met. Contributing, the Vice President, Students' Union Government, UNIZIC, Comrade Ifunanya Okoye, commended members of the Electoral Committee for their efforts and hoped that the new executives will bring reform to NUAS. Queen Anibogo, ABS News.
Still ahead of the news tonight, federal government seals 39 industries in 7 states over pollution. On the foreign scene, Russia to increase military strength by 137,000 personnel. Here is a special message. In the Anambra cannot allow criminal elements to hold the state and the people to ransom. Donate generously to the Anambra State Security Trust Fund, which has been set up to raise money for combating insecurity in the state. The news returns in a moment. Please stay with us.
Traveling? You deserve the absolute best. Enjoy maximum comfort in our new buses with more legroom, reclinable seats, onboard entertainment, and much more. Pick your preferred seat. Choose your preferred schedule. Travel on your terms. Ready for a premium ride driven by the best captains out there? Book now.
I'm glad to have you back for the rest of the news. Moving on to our national stories now. The federal government has said it sealed 39 industries in 7 states last week for contravening environmental regulations in their various domains. It also stated that it had commenced investigations into the activities of Chinese miners in Auust State following complaints of environmental degradation, farmland destructions, and contamination of water sources by the miners. The government disclosed this through the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, adding that all culprits would be prosecuted. The Director General Nasria, Professor Aliyu Jauro, told journalists in Abuja that the move by the agency was to protect the environment in line with its mandate, noting that no environmental offender would be spared. Jauro added that the facilities had been given notices of compliance consents in line with legal provisions but failed to abate their infractions against the environment. The enforcement is an ongoing exercise and assured Nigerians that no airing facility will be spared, noting that the recently sealed companies were closed after flouting repeated warnings. Among community in Ayamelum Council area has celebrated its 2022 New Yam Festival amidst joy and thanksgiving to God. Performing the ceremony, the traditional ruler of the community, Igwe Christopher Chidime, supervised the roasting of the new yam and its sauce as well as declaring it ready for consumption. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike reports.
The community used the New Yam Festival to showcase its rich cultural heritage, including the Ebonoba Hunters Dance Group, which showed the community's power in hunting, its police masquerades for enforcement of law and order, as well as different crafts the people of the town are known for. Earlier, the youths purified the community of any unholiness or charm with the popular Isato Omo masquerade group before the cutting of the new yam. Speaking at the ceremony, Igwe Chidume said that the feast provided them the opportunity to commune together, pray and thank God for a fruitful farming season, peace and unity in the state and country at large.
Ife pụrụ iche na ịwa ji arụ a n'ọmụ bụ na unu ga-ama na ndị ọmụ ọbụ ndị eji ọrụ ugbo marụ ọ na-aga anya lụnye ọrụ n'obi ọ bụrụ na ome ọfụma na-enwere ife akpọmụkwụ nke ọbụla ọ na-enye anyị ọṅụrị nne unu n'anya ji anyị lụrụ na ife ndị ọzọ anyị lụrụ n'arụ a arụ dịrịkwa mma so ndị be anyị na-aga anyị lụọ ọrụ ọ dị mma ọ na-enye anyị ọṅụrị nne ọ ile anya ịwa ji konofuru tata anyị mere bụ ife bụ omenanị na-aga ọ bụrụ na alụsị ọrụ olu mgbe e ga-eji wepụta eme ya ọ na-abụ mgbe ndị be anyị nọ na kampụ dị iche iche ji agbakọta nnọkọ ọ bụrụ ka eso bie n'etosidi omenanị o nwere ife anyị na-akpọ ngwe bụ nri oke onye ọbụla ejee n'ubi ene n'ife o nwere ọ na-eweta udo.
For the leader of the oldest men and kingmakers in the town, Chief Obuora Nnamekuba, it is a time to assess their youth's activeness and make amends on individual or groups' shortcomings. The chairman, Anambra State Traditional Rulers Council, who is also the Obi of Onitsha, Igwe Nnaemeka Achebe, who spoke through Ononenyi Obi, expressed satisfaction with the sustainability of Omo culture and tradition.
Igwe Kenechukwu, Okwuechukwu, we kenenya na subjects ya niile no aba, we fully for na-eme, we na asị na Chukwu alụka, we nwe bumper harvest. Anyị bụ witnesses to that. Anyị ji ekene udo wee bịa ọganiru na ịfụnanya na obodo a ga na-aga n'iru na-aga ya ka n'anya ya.
A daughter of the community, Miss Adora Chidume, described the festival as entertaining, especially from the numerous cultural dance troupes, and asked young girls and boys in the diaspora to endeavor to visit home and participate in the festival, noting that there is no place like home. The Anambra State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, Mr. Tony Nwabuwanne, and the Enugu-born industrialist, Augustine Ogwejofo, former Commissioner for Environment, Architect Mike Okonkwo, National Chairman of Anambra State Association of Town Unions, Chief Titus Akbudo, security agencies, academia, religious leaders, captains of industries, and groups were all in attendance to pay homage to the traditional ruler. From Omo, in Ayamelum local government area, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
Moving on to the foreign scene now, Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered the Russian military to increase its number of soldiers by 137,000 to a total of 1.145 million servicemen amid Moscow's military action in Ukraine. Putin's decree, which takes effect on January 1, did not specify whether the military will beef up its ranks by drafting a bigger number of conscripts, increasing the number of volunteer soldiers, or using a combination of both. The Kremlin has said that only volunteer contract soldiers take part in what it calls a special military operation in Ukraine. Russian troops guard an entrance of the Kakhovka hydroelectric station, a run-of-the-river power plant on the Dnieper River of Kherson region, southern Ukraine. Russian media and non-governmental organizations say Russian authorities have sought to bolster the number of troops involved in the military action in Ukraine by attracting more volunteers, engaging private military contractors, and even offering amnesty to some prisoners in exchange for a tour of military duty. Regional authorities have also tried to beef up the ranks, forming volunteer battalions to be deployed to Ukraine. Oka Literary Society has organized a night of tribute, poetry and voices to mourn and remember former Chief of Staff of the Biafran Army, late General Alexander Madiebo. The night captured the General Madiebo colloquium entitled Concept of Biafra Then and Now. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike reports.
The colloquium held in Oka attracted Indigo from different walks of life and well-wishers from other ethnic nationalities and provides an opportunity for attendees to reflect on the life of the Biafran Army General and the short-lived republic. Late General Madiebo, a native of Umuopu village in Oka, was the general officer commanding and chief of staff of the Biafran Army during the Nigeria-Biafra War and lasted between 1967 and 1970. He was also the author of the book The Nigerian Revolution and the Biafran War, adjudged the greatest and most objective book writer on the Civil War. Speaking at the event, the Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Sir Paul Nwosu, who spoke through Sachuka Nnabife, who graced the occasion, appreciated the organizers of the event, noting that it is a moment to celebrate one of the icons of Nigeria, and described late General Madiebo as an individual who devoted his life to the service of the nation and Igbo in general, and left an astonishing legacy for the Southeasterners that will help in molding the future of the region.
Alex Madiebo was somebody I read about. I never met him. He was somebody that was outstanding in character, because as he was described by fellow soldiers, he was a soldier of soldiers. He was a commander of commanders, trained in one of the best institutions for military knowledge in the world, Auust. He was also one of the most charismatic commanders, whose yes was yes, whose no was no. So today that we honor him, we use him to recall what leadership would be, what statesmanship would be, what a hero should be.
Two grandchildren of General Madiebo, Nkem Jika Nweke, who lives in Houston, Texas, and Sochikaima Madiebo, after reading selected passages from their patriarch's book, thanked the organizers and attendees of the colloquium for honoring their grandfather, especially as, according to them, the platform will further share their father's narrative of the Biafran War, which they said will clearly remain a spectacular document of events around that 30-month war.
He was pensive and avoided looking at me in the face all the time I was with him. It took us a lot of beating about the bush before we could start off a reasonably sensible conversation. When Guan eventually spoke, he expressed his regrets for ever joining the army at all, in the view of what was happening and likely to happen in the near future.
We're ready for the journey. I almost made a fatal mistake by entering the car and consenting to an immediate departure. It dawned on me all of a sudden that route also be checked first for roadblocks before the journey, even though my civilian friends considered this unnecessary and a waste of time.
Sharing their thoughts on the Biafra ideology, Professor Chima Nwankwo, Associate Professor Greg Mbajiogu, Barrister Sam Okeke, and Mr. Ejikeme Anyadoba said that the book by late General Madiebo gave insights into the Biafra War and nation building, adding that Biafra represented a nation and a platform to fight for one's rights and to demand for justice. They insisted that insecurity, resisting injustice, and quest for freedom brought about Biafra, and made it clear that Ojukwu was forced to declare the independent states as a way to protect the people of eastern Nigeria at that time.
Biafra represents an entity. In international law, we are specialized. It is stated that everybody has got the right of self-determination. It's not only co-determination. That of Nigeria was settled in 1958 after the constitutional conferences. But again, abuse of nationhood started, and therefore represented a nationhood, a nation.
In Oka, Chibuzo Bidike, ABS News.
And that's it on the news tonight. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Well, and just before we go tonight, a quick look at all major stories. Anambra State Government has inaugurated a technical working group for adolescent health. ABS Managing Director Obidiegu has reassured on their number of quality service delivery. And federal government has sealed 39 industries in 7 states over pollution. On the foreign scene, we brought to you that Russia is to increase military strength by 137,000 personnel. Well, that's the size of our package tonight, but here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Many thanks for joining the bulletin. I'm Ebere Ugonna. Enjoy the rest of your evening.